Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Schools here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 ways to instantly improve your aim. Now, improving your aim is a slow process that requires focus and practice, and it does take a long time, trust me. However, there are certain changes that you can make to your mindset and your approach to how you play the game, and specifically how you aim, that will bring it up to its highest potential every time you load into a game. Sometimes, when you play, your aim is just not as good as others. These tips will help you to always have the best aim that you possibly can. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with tip number 1, and that is to expect an enemy around absolutely every corner. A lot of times when you aren't really expecting an enemy to be around a corner when you're swinging, or whether you're face checking an angle, your reaction time and your flicks won't be as crisp or as quick as they otherwise would be. However, if you are expecting an enemy, even though realistically there might not be an enemy around that corner, if you in your mind are expecting or are ready for an enemy to be around every corner, it will make your reaction time so much quicker, and it'll make your flicks a lot crisper and more accurate because you are ready and mentally prepared for that engagement. Especially when you are kind of already aware of the room you're peeking into, once you have enough map knowledge to know where the common angles or spots that enemies could be sitting in, you will react faster. And again, you're going to be a lot more accurate when you flick to them because, again, your mind is ready for the action that you are about to take. Moving on to tip number 2, and that is try not to do too much with your aim. Don't move your crosshair around too much. This is the biggest difference that I see in terms of watching pro league players or players that have been playing the game at an extremely high level for a long time versus people just in my ranked games, still good players, no doubt, but people who don't have as much experience in the highest level of the game. And that is, people try to look too fancy, whether it's because they've watched too much of their favorite content creator, not too much, but just a lot of their favorite content creator, or someone who has absolutely spectacular aim. A lot of people think that they need to be constantly moving their crosshair around, flicking between different things in order to have good aim, or at the very least appear as though they have good aim. But this is definitely not the way to always be at your highest potential when it comes to aim. A lot of times the best thing is just to, do simple movements. As you're peeking around the corner, just have your crosshair tracing the corner. Don't be flicking back and forth to different things. Alright, moving on to number 3, and that is to focus on your recoil control early in your spray. So the biggest mistake that a lot of times I see in newer players, especially on console players, is they can learn recoil control perfectly fine, except in those first, maybe the first or the first couple bullets when, you're not really used to the spray. A lot of times when you full spray a gun, the first couple bullets might catch you by surprise with how much recoil the gun has, and then as you adjust to how much recoil the gun has, you can control it later into the spray. But a lot of times those first bullet or the first couple bullets will catch players off guard. It'll throw your aim off completely right at the beginning of the spray, and it'll force you to kind of compensate for that initial miss and kind of bring your crosshair back down onto the enemy, which can cost you a lot of time in a gunfight in having to do that, and it'll make getting kills a lot more difficult. So if in your mind you're always ready for the initial kick of the first couple bullets, it becomes a lot easier to land your initial shots and get kills even faster, which will of course help you improve your KD and win even more gunfights. If you want help in this from just the game itself, of course, gravitate more towards the muzzle brake and flash hider, but especially the muzzle brake, especially on guns that have a slower rate of fire. And this will help you out a little bit, but definitely go ahead and practice this in the shooting range, T-hunt, and deathmatch before you do it in ranked. But even if you just hop into ranked, as long as you're mentally prepared for those first couple bullets and the recoil that comes with it, you will have a much better time with your aim. Number 4, and this one is one that absolutely infuriates me to no end, and I've seen so many players that do this. Please do not do this. Stop changing your sensitivity so much. A lot of people have this kind of misconception that the way to get better at aiming is to just keep adjusting your sensitivity, whether that's huge adjustments to your sensitivity or tiny adjustments to your sensitivity, until you just basically become bolo or sploit. Well, I hate to break it to you, it's just not that easy. Finding the perfect sensitivity really is not a thing that you can do. The best way to do it is really to just pick a sensitivity that is comfortable for you and that works with your style of aiming. Whether that's, like what the way you grip the mouse and what part of your body you use to do a lot of the aiming, whether that's your fingers, obviously you're going to want a high sensitivity, or your wrist or your arm, which is what I use, which is going to warrant a lower sensitivity. Just get into that ballpark and then practice. The more you change your sensitivity, the harder it's going to be for you to get used to any one single sensitivity. And even though you might find a sensitivity that you feel fairly comfortable with, you're really not going to achieve high level aim unless you stick with that sensitivity and practice. So again, please stop changing your sensitivity every other day. And moving on to number 5, this tip kind of just sums up everything that I've said in this video, but honestly, you will get almost all of the benefits that I've said in this video so far, but just by doing this one thing, and that is, as simple as it sounds, just focus on your aim more in game. A lot of people really only take this approach if they're trying to work on their game sense or their decision making or other elements of their gameplay, but this goes just as much, if not more, for your aim. When you load into a ranked match and you want to focus on improving your aim as you go throughout the match, especially when you are about to take an engagement or a gunfight that you know that you are prepared for, be thinking in your mind about where should my crosshair be placed. Be mentally prepared to take that gunfight, to hit the flick onto their head, to control those first couple bullets of recoil, and to get the kill. Having your mind actively focused on hitting all of your shots will make you so much more accurate. It'll make your reaction times faster, your flicks cleaner and crisper, and your recoil control as good as it absolutely can be. And not only will this bring your aim up to the highest level that it can be at, but it will also help you improve it over time, because the more your mind focuses on something, the more neuroplasticity and change in your brain that you will get to achieve even better aim. Alright everybody, that is all I have for you today. I hope you learned something from this video. Of course, like I said in the beginning of the video, aim is a learning and growing process. It will take time. It is a skill, a motor skill to be specific, just like shooting a free throw or any other kind of physical activity. So be patient with yourself. Your aim will not be perfect in one day, but especially if you are a newer player, your aim will improve a lot faster than you think if you just focus on it. So stay patient. Use these tips to get the most out of your aim in every ranked game and to improve on each individual aspect of your aim as fast as possible. But don't forget that Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical shooter, not just Call of Duty. But again, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. Again, I respond to all comments, so I will see it if you leave me a comment, and I do appreciate all the comments. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.